Hi, and welcome to our Pilates Basics. We're going to learn about the T-zone today and how to activate it. If you've never heard of that, it sounds a bit weird. Don't worry, it's not. So let's start on our backs. So lying down comfortably to begin with, you want the soles of the feet down on your mat about hip width distance apart, or maybe a little bit further. And just relax down to begin with. So while you're here, I want you to imagine that you have a T drawn across from the hip bones and from the pubic bone up towards the hips. So we've got this sort of T shape. This is what is often referred to as core in a lot of different types of exercise genres. In Pilates, we call it the T-zone, and it consists of our transverse abdominis, which are our deepest abdominals, which act like a little bit of a corset in around our abdominal region, and our pelvic floor, which is a sling that holds basically our pelvic and abdominal organs in place. It also helps us to stop going to the toilet. Okay, so it's really, really good muscles to be working on and strengthening. We try and activate this T-zone in all exercises of Pilates so that we're always making sure that we're safe, especially in and around our lower back and pelvic region. Okay, so for the first few breaths, just allow everything to be loose and relaxed. And now we're going to have a little fiddle, and we're going to find our T-zone in our neutral pelvic position. So what I want you to do is just rock your pelvis up and back, so you're going an increased range of arch in the back and then a real curve in the back, and just go between these two extremes. So we're just working in and around our extremes. Great. Then I want you to come about halfway in between. And the best way to find your neutral position, I find, is to place the heels of the hands on your hip bones and then the fingertips on the pubic bone. And you just want to make sure that you're not tilted up towards the sky like this with the pubic bone, and you're not making a position the other way. We want to be about level. And this means there might be a little bit of a gap in the lower back, and that's perfectly normal. That's your natural S-curve that we want to maintain. If you are feeling your back into the ground, that is also okay. Okay, so now from here, let's firstly focus on this vertical line. So I want you to feel like you're drawing a line up towards your belly button. And for girls, it's a little bit like trying to hold in a wee. So you're trying to hold it in. For guys, and I can't really talk, but I have heard it's a little bit like trying to pull your balls up in towards your stomach. So you want to feel that sensation. Then, secondly, we're going to activate the transverse abdominis. So we want the two hip bones to feel like they're pressing in towards each other. So we're working with this horizontal line now. So feel those hip bones working in towards each other. So we want to feel that lift up towards the belly, and then that squeeze in of the two hip bones coming in together. Okay? Now, when you are getting familiar with Pilates, this could be really, really subtle. One way to check out if your transverse abdominis is activating is to take your two peace fingers, slide them inside of the hip bones, just inside, and just relax to begin with. And then firstly think of drawing that pubic bone, up towards the stomach. So we've got the pelvic floor activating. And then think of your hip bones coming in towards each other. And you might feel a slight hardening underneath the fingers there. That's just it activating. If you don't stress, it's not worry at all, and it'll come in time. But you will, hopefully, feel a slight activation there underneath your fingers. Okay, so now we're going to do a little exercise. And don't worry, finding your pelvic floor is really, really tricky, especially when you're new to the practice. But we're going to just do a little exercise to help activate it. So lying down, trying to find that neutral pelvic alignment. Good. Then placing the two fingers inside of the hip bones. We're going to activate for 5 seconds. So draw the pelvic floor up, draw the hip bones in towards each other, and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Just relax. Feel it all relax. Good. And let's try another set like that. So drawing up the pubic bone towards the stomach, the hip bones in towards each other. Hold, hold, hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Let it all just be loose. Let's go for one more set like this. Okay, so drawing the pubic bone up towards the stomach, hip bones in towards each other, holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Release. Hug the knees into the chest. And there you have it, T-zone. Have a little play with it. The other thing you can also do is have a feel of trying to activate your pelvic floor when you're sitting anywhere. So if you're sitting on a chair, in the toilet, wherever you are, just think of, trying to hold, trying to draw that pubic bone up towards the stomach. Hip bones in towards each other. T-zone's on. Great. Thanks so much. Bye.